morning talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
And good morning, Central Louisiana. It's a wonderful Wednesday with Trish and Nathan.
Good morning.
How are you doing today? Good morning. Good morning.
You're full of enthusiasm over there, which is good. I need it.
I'm not really here on Wednesdays very much, so I had to come up with a new alliteration. And so Wonderful Wednesday.
Wonderful Wednesday is right, because we are kind of taking our Thursday show that you and I do, and we always try to do some positive things with the community on our Thursday shows.
Yep, that's right.
And we're moving it to today.
Because you're not going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Sorry.
We'll miss you tomorrow, but glad to have you today. And I'm normally not here on Wednesday, but Al is away at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention.
Have you talked to him?
I have not.
See how they're doing up there?
We've had a brief text about the show, but I didn't ask anything about the convention. So, and I know he wishes he were here right now because LCU announced a new president yesterday. And
very, very
had
true.
Al been here today, he probably would have had him in the studio because he's got connections.
He's got connections. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But
we'll let Al do that when he gets back.
I thought the same thing. I started to reach out to some people to see if we could get him in, and I thought, I really don't want to steal Al's thunder. So,
we'll let him do that next week.
But it was a very big announcement for LCU yesterday as they announced the brand new president, the 10th president for LCU. And it's Dr. Mark Johnson from, he's actually currently down in he's the Doctor of Ministry program, or the Director of the Doctor of Ministry program at New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary. And they had narrowed it down to either 5 or 3. They presented it to the Board of Trustees. It was a unanimous vote yesterday morning. He was presented at chapel yesterday, and it was just a wonderful reception. It seemed to be. I wanted to be there for the announcement, and I was in my vehicle driving when it was happening, and so I wasn't able to be present. But as soon as I pulled over to the side, I was able to pull over and watch the KLB broadcast it live.
Oh, nice.
And it wasn't real long. It was just a real brief, but very nice presentation. Members of the Board of Trustees spoke. Anthony Bunting spoke, and then they introduced Dr. Johnson, and he was very gracious in his comments. Now, he's a tall fella, and apparently was at one time a professional basketball player in Europe.
Oh, wow!
So he may have a point or two for LCU basketball, who will be playing in the RRAC convention conference this weekend.
Yes.
I don't know when they didn't talk about when he's actually going to come and move and live here, but the LCU was assisted with Carter Baldwin Executive Search. They assisted the search committee, so they went outside for a professional group that helped them. And here's a statement. We are thrilled to announce that Dr. Mark Johnson has been elected by the Louisiana Christian University Board of Trustees as the next president of our esteemed institution. Dr. Johnson's exemplary leadership and profound love for the students and staff would undoubtedly support our mission and foster the growth and support our university. He sees this role as a divine calling. He is moved by the opportunity to serve the Lord at this remarkable institution, and he is committed to upholding the university's Christian values, inspiring students and staff to grow in their faith and academic pursuits. He earned his doctorate of ministry at New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary. The project that he had for his dissertation was entitled Racial Reconciliation in the Southern Baptist Convention. It focused on the themes of repentance, reconciliation, and restoration. And his debut book, Black Church, White Convention, A Pastor's Story of Hope, is set for release in spring of 2025. He is African-American, so that's a nice, I won't say nice, but a novel change. And I think that's going to bring some freshness and new perspective. In 2019, he and his family relocated to New Orleans to pursue his PhD. He's pastored different churches, all very successfully. So, he's got the academic side, he's got the pastoral side, he's got the experience of, coming up through the churches. And so I look forward to meeting him. I think it's going to be exciting to get to see the fresh perspective that he brings to LCU.
Absolutely. I look forward to welcoming them here to town. And I love the partnership that we have with all of our, educational institutions here. And so it'll be so great to have a new partner and all of that too.
Yeah.
As we get to know him.
It was noted he's a third-generation Baptist minister. He graduated with his BA from Washington and Jefferson College in 1994. And he played professional basketball in Europe and South America. and then earned his Master of Divinity. It was kind of funny. He walked up to the podium and he adjusted the microphone up, and he said, "I think I'll be doing this a lot." And I don't know if I didn't have anybody. I think Anthony's around 6 foot, and he looks like this.
Yeah.
Dr. Johnson looks like 6'6" maybe.
Yeah.
Or, he's a big, tall fellow.
Right.
So, and I'm sure he's going to be looking for a house. So maybe Trish.
Well, hey, you never know.
So yeah, in 2009, he was elected the 8th pastor of Liberty Hill Baptist Church in Cleveland, Ohio, and he led them through some great things there. He actually became the chaplain for the Cleveland Indians, now the Cleveland Guardians, for 2016 to 18. So just really neat to see the diversity of experience come in to LCU, and I'm excited for them.
I'm excited.
Dr. David Jeffries, who has been the interim president, has pledged to continue on and help with that success, and I think the world of Dr. Jeffries. So good things happening across the river.
Yeah, terrific.
So didn't get to go to the announcement, but did get to watch it because courtesy of KLB. All right, so hey guys, 442-8255, or as I mentioned yesterday, 318-442-8255.
Right,
We got to start using the 318s now. Have you programmed all the 318s into your phone?
No.
By the way, hold on. It's the BOE I'm talking like. I'll make sure I say that.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you say that. But actually, I mean, that's the thing with your cell phone. You do have the 318. I feel like I don't think I have anybody saved without the 318. But yeah. So it's not like I have a home phone anymore that you would actually go and push the button on to dial. So that's a good probably point. Not that big a deal, but it is a thing.
It is a thing. It is a thing. Coming up in the fall, they'll start the 457 overlay. And so that'll be a new area code that exists on the same area as 318. It's not going to be a separate area. Used to, you could say, oh, it's 225, they're calling from Baton Rouge. Oh, it's 337, it's Lafayette. Or it's, but
well, now because people port their phone number with them anywhere they go.
That's right.
People's phone numbers this is not necessarily, you think this is where they're from because this is their area code. Not anymore. That's just where they got their cell phone number that they've hung on to forever.
They follow them forever, and which is kind of cool. My daughter's up in North Mississippi, just south of Memphis, and she's got a 318 number, and I'm happy to dial that number.
Exactly. Same with my Chicago one and my Tennessee one. So they'll keep that 318. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because it's that family cell phone plan that's like the last thing.
They'll stay on your family plan longer than they stay on your insurance.
Oh, yeah. We got rid of the insurance finally. I mean, that was a biggie because we talk about insurance all the time here in Louisiana. So, I mean, when they took their cars and transferred their driver's license, their car title, and their insurance to both of their states,
they start saving some money, right?
Absolutely.
Did they start paying it themselves?
Absolutely.
I'm glad those on Facebook could see the emphatic head nod. Those are happy days.
It's like, yep, there we go, off the payroll, except for that cell phone bill. But again, we're so grandfathered in on our plan because it's such an old family plan that you can't change it. You just can't change it. So we'll keep that. But we do have some fun stuff we're going to be talking about today on the show too.
Yeah, chat with us about who's coming up.
Well, because we've got Katie Vanderlick coming up first today. She'll be towards the end of our first suite. We kind of break the show up. We say the first hour, second hour. It's really not a whole first hour.
No, not really.
But towards the end of it, she'll be here with Explore Alexandria Pineville, talk about all the great things coming up because we kind of have a big weekend coming up, Nathan, with all kinds. It's not just we've got all the Mardi Gras festivities, but as you just said, you've got the basketball tournament. We've got all kinds of things going on. And then at the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to be talking with some of the ladies from GlobalX, which is, if you've seen any of the big airplanes out at England Airpark, that you've probably seen the pretty paint job on those out there. They're going to be talking about what GlobalX does and some opportunities with them here locally as they're bringing more of their operations and things here to our area. And then the last little segment of the show, we'll have Catherine Pears here with the Alexandria Museum of Art, and got a great exhibit they're about to open up down there. And then also, I can't even believe it's time for this already, but time to start talking about dragon boat races.
It comes around quickly.
And I know that from being a part of it for so long, it does come right up on you quickly.
Were you a rower or were you a drum beater?
So I started out as a rower and team captain, but then I became, I along with Dustin Matthews, chaired that forever and ever and ever. And then I stepped in behind him and started chairing it after he had done his role through there, chaired it for a couple of years. And then I got to turn it over. I did not hang in as long as Dustin did on doing that, but it is such a fun event and such a neat event. And I still work it pretty much every year if I'm not out of town and I'm here. I get the chance to go and help them out down there.
Well, speaking of Dustin Matthews, he'll be in here Friday morning.
He sure will. Yeah. I know, Dustin, when I used to do the show all the time, he was one of my, we didn't have this rotating crew and it was just the two of us. It was Al and I. And if Al was out of town and then I had to sit on that side, I was like, I need somebody who can sit here and I know help, have conversations for those 2 hours. And Dustin was always terrific about coming in and co-hosting with me. So that'll be good to have him up here on Friday.
Yeah, and fun stuff happening here. I am interested in this GlobalX conversation. You texted me yesterday. You made the connection with them. And after I spent some time on their website and reading, I didn't know really how big they were and how exciting it is for Central Louisiana for them to be moving some of their operations here and some opportunities for some good jobs.
It is some opportunities for some great jobs for people here locally. And it was really, really great fun bringing in. We brought in right before Christmas some of the executives from GlobalX. They're based in Miami, but I was able to show them around our area, show them what we have to offer here, what life is like here. And so, they were all impressed enough that now they're training people to come and be based here. But even more than that, they want to start hiring locally and just becoming a community partner in so many things here. They want local people working for them, and there are people out in the community doing great things in the community too. They love becoming a community partner everywhere they are. So it's been very, very exciting to get to work with them on that.
I was looking at the job, they have 3 different types of classifications of jobs coming up. And I was trying to say, would I want to be a flight attendant at my age? No, probably not. But that's a great opportunity for people to get into the aviation field. And thinking about, LSUA's program out there. And they actually yesterday, Dr. Carell talked about possibly having some housing out there for students in the aviation program. And GlobalX, having some significant operations here. That's really, really exciting.
Yeah. So I had set up, they all met, while they were here in town last time, because it's great that we've got between CLTCC with the AMP mechanics and, LSUA with the flight, pilot training programs, all of those things. It's just a perfect fit for them all to work together.
Absolutely.
And, we can have jobs sitting there at the ready for the people in those programs.
There you go. 318-442-8255, the BOM talk line number for you to call and be a part of the show. We're at the bottom of the hour. Time for the bottom of the hour Bloomberg News. We'll be back with more right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. A source tells Bloomberg that Saks Global is laying off around 5% of its U.S. corporate workforce as the department store integrates its recent acquisition of Neiman Marcus. A memo viewed by Bloomberg News shows that the layoffs will affect employees in departments including finance, legal, and operations. There will be no staff changes at Bergdorf Goodman. Tesla is among the latest companies to be affected by consumers' political views. Some people who are unhappy about Elon Musk's role in the Trump administration have soured on the electric vehicle brand. There have been protests at dozens of Tesla stores across the country. Some Tesla showrooms in the U.S. and overseas have been vandalized. And Tesla sales in Europe were reportedly down 45% last month. Tesla's production line changes for the Model Y SUV may have contributed to the sales decline. Futures point to a higher open for Wall Street after a mixed close yesterday. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
Got a big day ahead of you? Then it's best to fuel up with some of Cenla's best at Bricato's restaurant. Walk right in and just smell that home-style cooking. Place your order, take a seat, and do breakfast right till 9:30 this morning. Get fresh biscuits, eggs any way you like them, melt in your mouth pancakes, grits, hash browns, sausage, bacon, even wraps and sandwiches. And don't forget their fresh brewed coffee. Bricato's Restaurant, 28 West, right across from the Coliseum. Your breakfast is waiting for you.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Now back to Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
We welcome you back to Talkback here on this Wednesday morning. It is not Al and Trish, Nathan and Trish on this morning, but happy to be in for Al out at the National Religious Broadcasters Association. I did get confirmation during the break that Dr. Johnson will assume the presidency on June the 1st at Louisiana Christian University.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he'll get to finish out
Yeah.
his tenure there for the semester at New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary and then come on in. That means he's got a couple of months to find a house, and I'm sure Trish could have a recommendation for a realtor for him.
Absolutely.
All right. I remember, I've been to a couple of the installations for presidents, and they're big deals. It's a really big deal. Yeah. And looking forward to welcoming him into the community, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of him. And I don't know, he's probably back in New Orleans by now. Who knows what his schedule's like? But I know Al will get him in here for an interview. So I was going to ask you, and we chatted briefly during the break, but I intended to ask you any basketball news going on with Auburn, and then you kind of gave
always.
It's always something with Auburn, but then they got a big game tonight at Ole Miss.
But I think it's at Auburn. I don't know if it's at Auburn or Ole Miss. I have to look it up and see. But yes, we do play Ole Miss tonight because I was telling you off the air. I don't need to go into details on the air about the Ole Miss scandal right now. But, there's always one thing or another, and then Twitter takes it and blows up with it. So, because I did see the Auburn tweet about hope Ole Miss players keep their head in the game and not on their latest scandal, but who knows? We'll see. So my fingers are just crossed. Each game that goes by, I'm like, these teams that are not ranked in the top, whatever, they can come out for you. And they're all gunning for us. And so you just never know on any given day. So
everybody wants to be the giant killer.
Right.
That's why it's almost sometimes better to be number 2 than number 1.
I know.
And I didn't look to see. I need to look it up. But LSUA was ranked number 1 in the nation, and then it lost to LSUS the final game of the season. And I haven't looked to see if that impacted their standings nationally. I'll try to look at it during the break. But if it did, to me, it almost takes a little pressure off because number 1 has this huge expectation on you.
That's right.
And there's something to be said for humble pie, so.
Well, and then the gamut that we're running on the SEC, then we still have to get through the SEC tournament before we even get to March Madness. So I'm like, let us just keep it together.
In the NAIA, if you win your conference outright before the tournament, you have an automatic bid. Right. Is it the same in SEC or I don't know sorry about that.
You need to be asking Al those questions.
That question. All right, next week we'll find out. 318-442-8255. Your calls are welcome this morning. We do not have Greg in the second hour. He's every other week.
Greg
Walker. And I was kind of, when I found out I was working today, I was looking forward to working with Greg because he's a hoot. He is really entertaining and
with Greg, you never know what he's going to say next.
This is true.
You just never know.
It's must-see radio.
Sometimes I'm holding my breath. Where is he going right now? Oh my gosh! But as long as it's not me, I'm not the one saying some of the things. So. Like I said, I learned the words to leave at the door. I learned all of those things. Yeah.
Very, very entertaining, no doubt. So as we navigate the next couple of segments here, again, we'll have coming up at 8:50 Katie Vanderlick from Explore Alexandria Pineville.com, the Convention and Visitor Bureau. Will be talking about stuff going on in the area. Have you taken a look at the planetary alignments that people are talking about?
No, I haven't, but I did get a headline yesterday. It was about a certain, like, if you wanted to see, no, that's not what it was. Sorry.
Well,
brain fart there. It was something else.
If you look to the south between 7 and 8 each night this week, you can see Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune.
Really?
According to NASA this week, and you can see several of them without a telescope. There's a horrible joke. There's 2 of them you have to have a telescope to see.
But, don't make the joke. I know where you're going.
But the best night to view will be Friday night, February 28th. And the planets are typically brighter than the surrounding stars. You may want to get you a map, but this is one of those rare times where you get to see them all because of the alignment with the sun and where they are. So Friday night between 7 and 8 p.m.
There's a really cool app you can use to do that too.
Is it Skyscape or Sky?
Something like that, and then you just hold it up to the sky and it tells you exactly what you're looking at there. It's just really neat.
That's amazing.
It is really neat. I love looking at the stars.
So that's going to be a fun thing to take place to participate in. If you're interested, did you hear about the fire yesterday on Jackson Street?
Oh, well,
sorry to catch you off guard like that.
No.
So I was driving.
I know there was one behind my building the other day because when I came into work, I was like, what's going on here?
So I was headed to, where was I going? I was going from Pineville to Ellick, headed down Jackson Street.
Wasn't there one in Pineville yesterday?
There may have been. I don't know. But I saw this one because it impacted my travel. I was on Jackson Street, and the fire was at 1404 Jackson Street. So it's really just between the I-49 and Bolton, somewhere in that little section right there. And I don't know what is at 1404 Jackson Street. That's what KLB says.
Well, the good news is that I have a bunch of properties that we represent right in there, and I know we've had them long enough that I know their numbers, and that was not one of them. So that makes me feel a little bit. I don't know what's it. I'll have to look that up.
It looks like I'm looking at Google Maps. It may have been maybe the old Shepherd Center building, possibly. It's right across from the empty field next to the Homeless Coalition. So there's the radiology building office, which is shuttered. I think that's the old Shepherd Center building. I could be mistaken, but it's 2 or 3 buildings down from the old Alexandria 2-story engineering Alexandria office they used to have there. 2 buildings, that's 3 buildings down, 2 buildings down from the professional pharmacy right there. So that's the address that KLB gave, and traffic on Jackson Street was completely diverted. This was around 2:00 in the afternoon. I remember now I was going to Grace Christian School.
Yeah, I had a meeting in Lafayette, so wasn't here. But I thought I saw a headline about one right off a military highway in Pineville also.
Man, so I saw a fire in your town, and you saw a fire in my town. We don't have a lot of fires. We have a great fire department, wonderful rating in Pineville, but they typically only do 12 to 15 structure fires a year. I mean, the vast majority of their responses are medical run or motor vehicle accidents and whatnot. But I'm so grateful that we have such a good fire department. All right, so it's 7:40 time for the next break. The lines are lit up. We'll come back with your calls right after this on Talkback with Trish and Nathan.
KSYL. We're Semi Broadcasting, local radio doing local public service.
The North Rapids Business and Industry Alliance is a grassroots organization composed of citizens and business leaders committed to the growth and betterment of our community through the sharing of talents and the ideas of individuals and businesses. They also work and support other groups in our region, but specifically focuses upon North Rapids Parish. Learn more about the North Rapids Business and Industry Alliance on Facebook.
This has been a public service reminder from Semi Broadcasting.
Now back to Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL.
You can see us bebopping on Facebook. We're Facebook Live.
We're Facebook Live and we're on YouTube Live. Awesome. Yeah, I have to teach you how to do that.
I did it yesterday.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Yeah. It's easy to do. I love this little thing right here. So now you can catch us anytime afterwards. You want to see what we look like. And
playbacks are available. I made the mistake a couple of weeks ago. We had Christopher's Arrival on. And I remember that we were supposed to mute certain things, and I looked up and I saw something wasn't muted, so I muted it. Come to find out, I was actually muting the feed itself for about 5 minutes or so. Like, wrong thing, but still learning.
Well, I was going to say, you were talking about how all the planets are going to be lined up and all of that kind of stuff we can see. Did you see the latest headline on our asteroid update?
No. I heard that chances are higher.
Well, now they've recalculated everything, and now they've taken the chance down to below 0.
Oh, okay.
0.0017%. So we can feel safe that in 3032, I think was the year, or 2032.
I wouldn't
not 3032. 2032, that the movies will not be coming true.
I got to tell you, that was a little, that percentage was creeping up.
Well, it wasn't huge, how many movies have been made like that?
That's right.
In fact, the other day, with that original one with Ben Affleck and
was there one called Asteroid that had Bruce Willis in it?
Bruce Willis, yeah. I think, wasn't that Armageddon?
I thought maybe so. I thought it was Asteroid.
But where they actually go up.
They fly up there and and he ends up blowing it up when he stays. Yeah.
I'm like, is this why they're showing it on TV right now? So the good news is Earth should stay safe.
That's right. I said we were going to go to the phone calls, and as soon as I said that, both lines stopped blinking. So
I know people call us, and then they hang on and hang on and hang on.
318-442-8255. Please. I'm not going to sound desperate or anything, but we'd love to hear from you this morning. We're used to having had several calls by this time, and this is the last little segment because at 7:50 we got Katie Vanderlick coming in from the Convention and Bureau office here, the Explore Alexandria Pineville.com. By the way, I was at a very interesting Rapides Area Planning Commission meeting yesterday at 3:00. It was so, the response was so large.
One of them back.
Okay, well then I'll tell you about
one
that story.
back. Okay.
Thank you very much. We'll go to the phone lines. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Trish and Nathan.
Oh, I was going to say a funny movie, but it is so America how it was under Joe Biden. It was called Don't Look Up, and it's about an asteroid coming to hit them, the world. And it's a funny movie, but it's like really straight up how it would be with, Joe Biden still being president if it was that true.
All right. Don't Look Up is a 2021 American apocalyptic political satire comedy. There you go. That sounds like, I've never heard of it, but it sounds funny.
I'm literally going to look it up.
We're going to look up.
It's on Netflix. It's funny, but if Joe Biden was still president, that would be just the perfect movie right there for it. So.
It was named one of the top 10 films by the National Board of Review in 2021. Interesting. It got 4 Academy Awards. I never even heard of it. I don't do movies much anymore, but so that's interesting. Okay, well, thank you for that call.
Thank you for that tidbit.
Netflix will have at least 2 people watching that movie soon.
I know. I'm going to add it to my list. I've started keeping a list.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we actually, Todd and I will both. It's like a shared. We'll both put things on there because you see something and then you forget about it. So I can put this on the list. This is certainly first world problems. Okay, but my first world problem right now is my wife and I have 2 or 3 series that we're enjoying, and appreciate that call very much, caller. But we have 2 or 3 series that we're enjoying, and so when each evening, typically we get ready for bed, we're going to watch an episode of something. Right. Yep.
I can't remember which which series is on.
We have the same first world problem.
Thank you. I thought I was the only one.
First world problem, because yes, we do the same thing where it depends on the mood of the night, like which series you want to watch the next episode of. And then it's okay, well, so was that on Netflix? Was that on Apple? Was that on Prime? Was that on
Hulu?
Paramount?
It was on Paramount.
Was it on
I know. You got to start making lists.
I mean, this is something somebody needs to do. What can you, it's got to be a simple little.
And it's not, in the olden days,
program.
You just changed channels. Or you had your TiVo. Did you ever have a TiVo?
Absolutely. Okay. We had the TiVo from the first generation TiVo.
Yeah, so TiVo recorded
we had it for years. Yeah.
So it was a one-stop shop.
Right.
And now
you just went there.
Right. You open up an app. Oh, it's not there. I got to close the app, exit the app, go open the new app.
Yep.
Serious work.
And then you got to wait for it to go through, and then it does this big noise when you open the app. And
I have to learn to mute it when I change apps. I have to, because it's or whatever.
So my 2 boys that really like programming and computer stuff, I'm just saying now.
That's a great idea.
Hey, this is an idea.
That is a phenomenal idea. A one-stop shop.
How do you take all of that and make it easy for
without violating their terms of service, terms of conditions, and whatnot?
Yeah.
And really, that's those are serious first world problems that we're struggling keeping up with. What
first world problems?
I mentioned yesterday to Sandra. I don't know if you watched it. I have fallen in love with a series called The Mentalist. It's probably 10 years old. It was on CBS, I think, back in the day. Broadcast. Just a fascinating show that has captured my attention. It's clean. It's just enjoyable. It
is interesting how as you start searching through that stuff, and I do like, the app like Amazon Prime or Netflix, all of them, they'll start throwing up stuff it thinks you're going to like based on what you've watched. And some of them are older series. I mean, I started watching White Collar. I had no idea that was a series, 10, 15 years ago.
Same here. Yep.
And I'm like, where was this? How did I miss it? And so now you get to watch those things. So that's a cool part of it.
White Collar, to me, the opening episodes were really engaging.
Yes.
It kind of lost.
Yeah, well, then it becomes the same old, same old.
Right. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Trish and Nathan.
Hi, Nathan. This is Lori, your wife. Hey, I just wanted to tell you that the fire trucks are still on Jackson Street at that location where you saw the fire. So there's a detour.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Well, thank you, Lori, my wife. It's the first time I think you ever called the show. Thank you.
It is the first. It is, and it'll probably be the last.
Thank you for calling us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sweetheart.
All right. Bye-bye.
But that is good to know. I mean, the number of people that take that route to go to work. So obviously, if you're listening to us and paying attention, take a detour. I mean, you already have to detour around Elliott. Now detour around Jackson Street this morning.
I got thrilled. My wife called the radio show. I gotta tell you, that's exciting.
That is exciting. Connor said many times, because he listens all the time too, and He's like, one of these days I'm going to call because he'll text me during the show all the time.
And she does.
And he does a great job, like just things that I don't think about. And he always has great questions or insight and all of that kind of stuff. He's like, I don't know. One day I'll call.
I'm gonna have to go back and pull the clip of that and edit out just that little bit. Hi, this is Lori Nathan's wife. That was so sweet.
Lori, your wife. I like that.
I have the sweetest wife. I am so blessed. We've been married a long time, and I'm thankful for all those years. I used to do this funny joke though. We would talk about how long you've been married, and I'm gonna make something up. I'm gonna say we've been married 20 years, and it's been 17 of the happiest years of my life. Right? That's just a little joke you'd say. I'd said that a few too many times, and one time I said that in her presence. She goes, "Oh, you've had that many happy years?"
That was a great
comeback.
That was a great
never
comeback
used that line
there.
since then.
So how many years has it been?
37 years.
Yeah, so this is our 30.
All right, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, those are accomplishments, especially, people talk about in today's world, but it is. They are accomplishments. The Louisiana Family Forum does a thing every year around Valentine's in February where they're looking for the longest married couple in Louisiana. And they give you the top 10, and the top, it's usually in the 60s because,
Right.
There may have been one in the 70s. I don't recall, but this year the top 10 were all in their 60s. And it got me thinking, my parents have been married 63 years. A couple more years, they'll be in that run. And I think the top couple may be in the 70s now that I think about it.
Cool.
Because if you're 90-something years old, you're both still living. You got married
That's
at
the
20.
thing. You're both still living. You're both right. Yeah, you got married young enough. I know. At our wedding, we did a special dance with my grandparents because it was their 50th wedding anniversary. The same year we got married. So that was pretty cool. Yeah,
that is really cool.
Yep.
Well, that's pretty neat right there.
Yep.
All right, so we're coming up on 10 minutes before the hour. We're going to take a break, check and see. I think here she comes right now. She's coming on in. We'll be back with Katie Vanderlick with Explore Alexandria Pineville.com right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
We're Sinlaw Broadcasting, local radio doing local public service.
The Exchange Club of Central Louisiana is a group of men and women working together to make our communities better places to live through various service programs, namely youth activities, Americanism, community service, and the Exchange Club's national project, the prevention of child abuse. The name Exchange was selected because the group wanted to exchange ideas and information with other like-minded individuals. Learn more at nationalexchangeclub.org.
This has been a public service reminder from Sinlaw Broadcasting.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
That music sounds like a spaghetti western from the 1960s. It's a great intro for Katie Vanderlick, who is all things Central Louisiana. She knows everything there is to know about what's happening in Central Louisiana.
I wish I did. Y'all are giving me way more credit this morning, but I like it.
Well, I Two Cities Many Great Adventures has been changed to Two Cities Mardi Gras Adventures on your website. I thought that was pretty cool. So I have a feeling you're going to talk to us about a few things that are happening Mardi Gras wise.
We do. We have a few things going on.
Just a few.
I don't know if y'all heard anything.
Yeah, just a couple things going on.
Yeah. Chalette mentioned something in passing.
Oh, right. I forgot. Right. Yeah, Chris was on. Yeah. He wasn't here to talk about Mardi Gras, though, right?
Just a little bit, yeah.
So we have a big weekend. Really excited. We're going to kick it off Friday with the Classic Cars and Cheerleaders Parade, and that is at 5 o'clock. It used to be earlier, but they bumped back the time. So that's 5 o'clock downtown Alexandria, and that's going to be the same route as the Children's Parade. And then right after that is, good. Right?
Oh, good. Now if you're watching us, you can see Katie.
Yeah, now I'm on Facebook
took me a minute
Live.
to get there.
Thanks a lot, she says.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I love to be seen this early in the morning. So right after that, which I thought that was a good move to move that parade back, because you can leave that parade and head over to the Randolph Riverfront Center for the 31st annual Taste of Mardi Gras event.
I can't believe it's 31st annual.
Yes, 31st.
Wow.
And it is so much fun. So VIP tickets and tables are sold out. They have been sold out for a while. But you can still get general. No, you can still get. I have no pool either.
I know, right?
You can still get general admission tickets, and if you haven't done it, I suggest you do it now. It's a great event. You get to sample so much food. The Molly Ringwald, Chewies.
Chewies
are going to be there. Chewies are going to be there.
I remember that just because of my co-host here, Nathan.
I called him the Cheese Whiz.
There might be cheese with
Al has been merciless in his ridicule of me for not knowing the Chewies.
Well, the Chewies will be there. I don't know about Cheese Whiz.
The Chewies are awesome.
Take your chance. Oh, yeah. It's always so much fun. It really is. So that starts at 6 o'clock for VIP. And then the next day, you can wake up and go to the Children's Parade. And I didn't even mention that the weather is going to be beautiful this weekend.
I've been checking that like crazy because, you know, at our office right here, we do a big kind of parade thing for our clients and stuff. And I swear every year there's rain. And last year it got completely rained out.
Right.
But this year the weather looks for all the parades.
Yes.
Perfect.
We have lucked up this year. So, so Saturday Children's Parade, that's going to kick off at 10 o'clock in downtown Alexandria.
High of 78.
That is amazing.
You can't get much better than that.
This cold.
Chamber of Commerce.
The cold.
Chamber of Commerce weather is right.
Yes. I don't care whose weather it is. As long as it's real, a reality, let's do it.
And it brings people.
Exactly. So then following that, you can go to the Alexandria Zoo Mardi Gras party. That's at 1 o'clock. Or you can go to Mardi Gras on the Red, which is something new that Pineville is doing on their riverfront. And that starts at 11:30 immediately following the Children's Parade. So you can actually go to that and still make it to the zoo if you want to do both.
Right.
So Saturday.
You can make a full day of Mardi Gras.
Yes. And the best thing is you can either do it with your entire family or with your spouse or friends. It can be what you want it to be because it's family friendly. Or if you just, want to bring the kids to the Children's Parade and then drop them off. See you later. And then Sunday, we've got the Cruise Parade that comes right here in front of the studio. That starts at 2 o'clock. That obviously is so much fun. AMGA, they do an incredible job with Mardi Gras here in the real.
They really do. Yeah. I couldn't believe how early I was seeing people putting up their little, marking their little spots all the way down that parade route.
I saw a lady in front of Target yesterday putting her stuff out. I was like, man, I felt like she needed some help because she was real serious with that tape, and it was taking her a hot minute to do it. But so Mardi Gras, so that's this weekend. Lots of stuff going on. I'm just going to go through a few other things. March 8th, a community resource event at the Alexandria Mall. The Marshall Tucker Band is going to be at the Laborde Earls Entertainment Center, which is right there next to the Rapides Parish Coliseum. That's going to be on Friday, March 21st. So make sure you get your tickets for that. And Mayor Gail Wilking will be excited to know that we are promoting her Moon Pie Festival Saturday, March 22nd at 10 a.m. Now, I do know that the ball parade was canceled last weekend because of rain.
Yeah.
There was mention of it moving to Saturday. Did it get moved?
That's what I heard. I didn't hear it from her, but someone told me. And Mayor Wilkins
what I saw, what Nick had posted. And I mean, we believe everything Nick knows.
Of course.
Exactly.
And he and his wife are the king and queen.
Yeah, so he had posted that it was going to be Saturday. The weather is going to be perfect for that. So, I mean, like I said, your whole day Saturday can be Mardi Gras parades and festivities.
Yes. Beads and candy.
And if you're not into Mardi Gras, there's a basketball tournament taking place at the Rapides Parish Coliseum. I guess it's the Laborde Earls Coliseum now.
Yes.
And so, that's a huge deal. We got teams coming from Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, all over going to be here. So they'll be eating in our restaurants as well and taking some of our hotel rooms. So, I mean, there's some options.
Exactly. And that's what we like. We want to keep people in our area. It's real easy to have a good time here. And most importantly, too, a lot of it's family friendly. And I know we have lots of families here, young families here. So we want to encourage everybody to get out this weekend and enjoy the beautiful weather and enjoy the great parades and all that Mardi Gras has to offer here.
That's wonderful. Well, you keep us up to date on all the good things that are happening at ExploreAlexandriaPineville.com. Did I say it right?
ExploreAlexandriaPineville.LA.com.
Oh, okay.
Is it?
No,
ExploreAlexandriaPineville.com. It was LA at one point.
Gotcha.
ExploreAlexandriaPineville.com.
Just because I have it pulled up on my computer right here. Yeah.
Yes.
Explore Alexandria Pineville.
Yes.
And if you do have events you want to add, it's easy to do, right?
Absolutely. Just go to our website, which is ExploreAlexandriaPineville.com, and just click on events, and you can put your event in there, and we would love to help you promote it. And also just check out our events that we have on there. We have a great calendar of events, and
you can even order catering from your website. Man.
With food, we have the food trucks on there.
Yeah,
a list of food trucks. So anything you need. we've got it for you.
That's a great website and a great resource for people to go to, especially people that might be new to our area.
Yes.
That we're bringing into our area. Go look there, tell you everything going on.
And you can also come by our office, which is at the corner of Jackson and 2nd Street. It's right at the foot of the Jackson Street Bridge. And, we can help plan an itinerary. We've got some walking tours. We've got different things that we can help you with. So come visit us.
Terrific. Well, thank you for coming in today. I know you did your route through all of the studios this morning, keeping everybody energized and excited about the weekend. So thank you very much for that.
Appreciate it very much, Katie, for being here. In the next hour, we've got GlobalX representatives will be talking to us.
They'll be calling in, and we'll be talking to them right after the news at the 8 o'clock, and then Catherine Pears with Museum of Art after that.
Absolutely. So make sure you stick around for more. And your phone calls, 318-442-8255 is the number. Oh, remember, you got to add the 318 now. So
the BOM line.
The BOM talk line. I got to remember to say that. So because those folks are great sponsors.
You have to remember all these things, all the things.
Yeah. First world problems, but we're going to remember. All right, everybody, stick around. We got more coming up on Talkback with Trish and Nathan.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenla Broadcasting.
FM 104.9, AM 970, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3 HD3 Alexandria. It's 8 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Elon Musk is expected to be at the first cabinet meeting of President Trump's new administration today as the Doge chief gets ready for a new and larger round of cuts to the government workforce. Correspondent Weijia Jiang is at the White House.
Sources tell CBS News the administration plans to issue a new memo in the coming days directing agencies to prepare for large-scale firings, adding to the existing anxiety over directives from Musk to federal workers that continue to create more questions than answers.
President Trump has plans for undocumented, what he calls high-level people to pay their way to legal status. He wants to offer gold cards at $5 million a pop. CBS's Finn Gomez.
Calling it green card plus privileges, essentially for people who want to come and gain residency in the United States. They'll get a gold card, but they have to have $5 million to invest in the United States to create jobs.
In Israel, tens of thousands lined highways as a funeral procession for former hostage Shiri Bibas and her two young sons passed by a week after Hamas released their remains. Shmuel Shapira was among a crowd holding flags, orange balloons, and signs that read, "Forgive us."
I feel that everyone should give them respect. We all love them. I mean, I didn't know them, but the last year and a half, I know them very well.
Another hostage prisoner exchange is scheduled for tomorrow. A Hamas official says there will be no public ceremony for the handover of 4 more bodies. The Vatican says the Pope is resting after a peaceful night's sleep. CBS's Seth Doan is in Rome.
His blood parameters are stable. There has not been another acute respiratory crisis, which is good news. We also understand that he had a CAT scan that had been scheduled to look at the bilateral pneumonia, the pneumonia in both lungs.
The FDA is expanding access to a key drug for schizophrenia. Correspondent Michael Wallace has the details.
Many doctors believe clozapine is the best antipsychotic medication on the market. Research has shown it reduces suicidal behavior. Now, federal regulators are dropping the required weekly blood test to get the drug. Many schizophrenia patients haven't had access to those tests.
Call for additional checks on pregnant women and new mothers. CBS's Michael George.
The American Heart Association says mothers should have psychological screenings during pregnancy and in the 1 year after giving birth. Depression and anxiety can lead to negative health behaviors like irregular sleep and drug use, and can affect the child's well-being as well.
This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You could save big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit Progressive.com.
Doctors across the country are urging Congress to reverse devastating Medicare cuts that jeopardize physician practices and patient access to care. American Medical Association President Dr. Bruce Scott has more.
Medicare payment to physician practices has fallen 33% since 2001. Costs are increasing all around us. This means physicians have to make difficult choices and in some cases limit the number of Medicare patients they see.
To learn more, visit fixmedicarenow.org.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Sean Burns. Congressman Clay Higgins announced that Iraq is purchasing an additional 88,000 metric tons of U.S. long-grain milled rice. Higgins says Iraq's rice purchases have a significant impact on South Louisiana's economy. U.S. Rice COO Sarah Moran says the latest agreement is a win-win for Louisiana farmers and Iraq.
We worked with them and came to an agreement that they would purchase 200,000 tons of U.S. rice on an annual basis. And in return, we would provide trainings as necessary and kind of just have a good level of communication with one another.
There's an outbreak of the measles right now in West Texas. Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy says the disease is headed for our state, and he's urging all of us to be prepared by getting your measles vaccine, recommended by State Surgeon General Dr. Ralph Abraham.
He pointed out the measles vaccine is safe. He recommends it. I recommend it. There's no daylight between us. We want the people of Louisiana protected.
LRN.
Need office supplies, janitorial supplies, or office furniture, either new or pre-owned? Then look no further than DTW Office Supply, with wholesale prices on a large selection of top quality products, all with the personalized hometown service that you deserve. We're proud to serve the entire state of Louisiana with daily deliveries right to your door. Visit us today at 1219 MacArthur Drive or online at dtwofficesupply.com. That's DTW Office Supply, your trusted partner for all of your office needs, quality, value, service.
Good morning. Another foggy start to our Wednesday morning, but it's going to get better. Sunny skies later today. Afternoon highs near 73. We'll see winds out of the south at about 5 to 10. Now tonight, that fog rolls in again after midnight. Overnight lows down to 53. And for Thursday, we're saying a mostly cloudy day with a chance of showers, about a 20% chance. The highs near 70. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, that's your forecast. I'm Dave Gratian. Currently 42 degrees in Cenla.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 27 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Welcome back to Hour 2 of Talkback. Delighted to have you along with Trish and Nathan on this Wednesday morning. Wonderful Wednesday it is. And talking about wonderful things that are happening, we've got on the phone line with us a couple of representatives of GlobalX. We have Marina Armas, who is a captain and an assistant director of operations for GlobalX, and Giselle Espinal, the vice president of in-flight operations, flight attendants and whatnot. And we're delighted to have both of you with us this morning. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to know which one to talk when you have 2 of them there. We appreciate both of you being with us. Yesterday, Trish had mentioned to me about you guys kind of expanding your operations here in the Alexandria area, looking for some jobs or offering some job opportunities in Central Louisiana. And she was kind enough to forward to me the positions that you guys are looking for. You're looking for captains, first officers, and flight attendants. But before we get into that, tell us a little bit about GlobalX.
Perfect. So I'll start. This is Marina Armas. GlobalX is a really exciting up-and-coming charter airline. We're a 121 charter operator utilizing the A321 fleet.
We've been in business about 4 years, and we currently stand at 19th aircraft, or 19 aircraft in the fleet. We're very excited to add our 19th this morning.
Oh, that's
yeah, very exciting for us. It's been a lot of work, and now we're excited to get it moving. We've flown to 370 cities in about 67 countries.
Wow.
So we go all over the world, everywhere from Europe, South America, Caribbean, all through North America. So extremely exciting airline, and we're really excited to bring one of our fastest growing crew bases here to Alexandria.
Yeah, I think that's the exciting thing is starting to base some of your crews here in Alexandria. But tell the listeners too, I think our listeners has been seeing your aircraft here locally. And of course, locally, they associate it with the ICE program here. But that's not all that you guys do, correct?
No, not at all. GlobalX really does everything. That is one portion of our business, is that ICE contract. But we do tons of VIP work. Right now we're seeing heavy VIP passenger service, which is something I think we really excel at and Giselle could speak to. Our flight attendants do a phenomenal job. We do concert tours, sports teams, all sorts of sports teams. Recently flying teams like Inter Miami, some really exciting opportunities. We also, on the pilot side, we fly cargo. So we're the only airline in North America or the United States certified to use the A321 as a fully converted freighter. We do passenger service as well. So we support many airlines that need additional help within their organization for periods of time. Like, for example, this summer we are sending 3 planes over to Europe.
Fascinating.
To do some flying over there.
Yeah.
Yes, it's extremely exciting. So many opportunities.
So I was looking at your website, and it talks about being domestic and international ACMI and charter flights. I had no idea what ACMI was, so I Googled it, and I saw it's aircraft, crew, maintenance, and insurance, and I still don't know what ACMI is. So explain that to us lay people.
Yep, so pretty much when someone gets an ACMI contract, they're getting the aircraft, crew, maintenance, and insurance, and then everything else they'll kind of provide and coordinate. So, as far as fuel, food, things like that.
Terrific. And we have also the opportunity to understand you do charter flights as well. People can charter your planes for specific purposes.
Absolutely. We do tons of private flying. So one example I could give, a really exciting one that we had some people that were very excited for the Eclipse, a team of people. So they chartered the aircraft. They worked with our team and we were able to find a perfect airport for us to land at. So they would have been in that complete immersion area of darkness.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we had a DJ on the plane, everything, and we flew them over there and then pretty much had a big party on the
How many of my best friends do I have to charter
to do that? Yeah. Well, and talking about that and kind of teeing it over to Giselle then, if you're looking to hire flight attendants that are based here in Alexandria, and the opportunity, again, people might just be thinking ICE flights, but the opportunity to be a part of all of these charters is just, like, that's cool enough. I want to go do it, So tell us a little bit about the opportunity. What are you looking for first with a flight attendant opportunity here?
Well, Alexandria being so central, located centrally, we're working and expanding that base drastically. So it is very important to us. We're looking for customer service focused individuals, right? The flying in Alexandria is not only, like you said, focused on ICE flights. We do a lot of charter flights, especially over the weekends over there, where we do, college sports teams, professional sports teams, and incentive trips. So, the fact that we have 4 airplanes parked in Alexandria, makes it more exciting when there's more flying out of that base. So we are actively recruiting, in that base and growing it rapidly. So we have our next training for April 7th of this year.
So what does the training entail for this? If your training start date is April 7th, how long is the training and what does somebody have to do for that?
So it is a 4-week training, right? And it's very intensive, I will say, but we prepare you have extremely amazing instructors, right? That we prepare the flight attendants for it. We are looking into building our own training facility in Alexandria, which is amazing as well. So that's the plan to growing it much more. So most of the training will take place in Alexandria, and then we finish it up in Miami, where we do, drills, emergency procedures, what's all about. That's what the flight attendants are for emergency procedures. So they are trained in airline terminology, aircraft ground, first aid, obviously evacuation procedures, and so on. So that's what it entails within the training. It's a 4-week training program.
Exciting.
And it's paid by the way.
Oh, great.
Oh, I was going to say that's another big plus too. It's paid training.
Yeah.
What are the requirements for if somebody's listening right now and is thinking, hey, this sounds pretty good for me? What are the requirements that you need to have?
Must be at least 21 years of age. U.S. current passport is a must. As you know, we travel international. Anyone that's focused with customer service background, no experience is required because, like I said, we do train. We're looking for fairly enthusiastic people that love to travel. And of course, high school diploma or GED equivalent.
I saw this. It said travel expectations. This role requires extensive travel, including overnight stays, weekends, and holidays. So if you want to take a holiday as a lifestyle, it sounds like an exciting life.
It is. I've been in the industry for 29 years, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Wow, that is very exciting. You also need to be able to lift 50 pounds, so you've got to be physically fit and capable of standing, walking, climbing for extended periods because you'll be working on a moving plane and probably need to be able to balance some things.
That is correct. And of course, be able to reach the overhead bin and perform the inside duties and so on.
You're also, though, looking for first officers is what we saw, which are those like pilot assistants or, the first officer is not the officer in charge, but these are pilots that you're looking for?
That's correct. Yep. So the first officer plays a vital role assisting the captain in the flight, and something we really try and emphasize here at GlobalX is we're looking at the first officers as captains because we know one day, they are going to move over into that left seat. So we really try and place heavy emphasis on their role. They are pilots. We're looking at hiring for first officers. We look at everyone from basic, it's called ATP minimums, and airline transport pilot. So that'd be 1,500 hours of flight time.
Well, and obviously it would be great if they were experienced with the Airbus A320, which is the primary vehicle in your fleet.
That's correct. It is preferred.
We do have...
But with the right people and the right fit, we know we could train people where they need to be. We have an incredible training program here at GlobalX across the board. So.
That's super exciting. We have a brand new aviation curriculum at a local public university, Louisiana State University at Alexandria, that they have just started. Trish, how long ago? 2 years ago?
Right, yeah. And I actually they met with when some of the GlobalX people came to town in December, and I got to set up a breakfast for them to meet and talk about what that program is doing. And I mean, it's perfect for then feeding right into this here. And like she said, in pilot speak, it's that right seat position. Mm-hmm. But so much in the pilot world, it's steps that you take to get to that eventual captain's seat. And it's the perfect kind of segue through all of this. And yeah, everything you guys have done has been so impressive. I can imagine your training program is just out of this world impressive. And so what a great place to go to build those hours and fly to some of these places, fly these aircraft and work for an exceptional company while you're doing it and get to be based somewhere like Alexandria. I mean, there's a little bit, the lifestyle in Alexandria and the cost of living is a little bit different than it is in Miami, right?
Oh, completely, yes.
Cost of living is certainly a plus for our community. And I love the fact that as I look at your profile, you fly in the United States, the Caribbean, Europe, Latin America. You are publicly traded, but it truly is an international, I hate to use the word airline. I'm not sure what term to use. And there was a joke for a while amongst our local community that we have the Alexandria International Airport, but truly it helps us attract somebody like GlobalX, and you find the value of an international airport.
Absolutely. And Alexandria has just been phenomenal to our organization, and we've really enjoyed working there. Another thing I wanted to bring up is we're also building a really nice, or expanding upon a really nice maintenance facility in Alexandria currently. So we'll also be really actively recruiting and looking for maintenance technicians, managers. Will be filling those roles as well, because maintenance is obviously vital in keeping our operation moving, these planes in the air.
GlobalXair.com is the website. Click on careers when you get there, and it looks like it's a fairly simple way to submit an application. Your airplanes are very distinctive. I mean, they're beautiful, the blue and with the green accents, and We have seen them in the community, and we hope to see even more of them.
Well, and I even made a mention that last time I flew out of here, we had 2 of your pilots on our flight as they were repositioning, and their uniforms looked amazing. And the blue on the uniforms matched the planes. Like, everything that they have done is just top notch, Nathan. And so it's very, very impressive and exciting for us here. And yeah, that's another tie with one of our higher ed institutions with CLTCC in the AMP mechanics and all of that too. So more job opportunities. They are here locally, you know, for a company that's coming in and hiring people locally, bringing people, new people into our community, and then wanting their people to be out and be members of our community too. So great, great partnership, and we're excited to be a part of it.
Thank you so much, Marina Armas and Giselle Espinal. Thank you for taking the time to chat with us about GlobalX. Any final thoughts for us?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having us here and speaking with us. But again, we're so excited to be in Alexandria and to meet the people there and see who we could bring on board to the company. We need a lot of passion and excitement, and we're really excited for this journey and the time there, which is awesome.
Well, I'm super excited. Yeah, Giselle, go ahead.
No, yeah, you said it all, Marina. And we're excited to have Alexandria as part of our team, our new home as well. I call it my new home. And I will be in Alexandria in March, so I'm looking forward to exploring more out there and expanding that base.
Well, me gustaría mucho conocerles. I would like to meet you guys in person one day, and thank you guys for your investment in our community. You can tell the enthusiasm we feel just right here with Trish and myself, and I hope to get to meet you when you come in March, Giselle.
For sure. Looking forward to it as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, hopefully, again, go to globalxair.com. There's a tab that says careers. Hopefully, you get a lot of people clicking on that. We've piqued their interest here, and we'll see you when you come back in town again.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you.
Right, thank you.
All right. There you go. GlobalXair.com. Marina Armas and Giselle Espinal. And we'll be right back with more after this.
Is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
The Greenhouse presents Dogs in the Back of Pickups. If you must drive with your dog in the pickup bed behind you, here are a few tips. The best option is to place your dog in a crate with a cushioned floor and strap it down securely. If that's not possible, put the dog in a harness with a short tether to limit the dog's mobility and ensure safety from strangulation. And of course, drive safely to avoid quick stops and turns. The Greenhouse.
Colorectal cancer is the leading cancer killer in men under 50 and the second leading cause of cancer death for women under 50. The American College of Radiology urges you to get screened starting at age 45. Now, Medicare and insurance companies are required to cover not only colonoscopy, but less invasive exams like virtual colonoscopy. Talk to your doctor about your options. For more information on virtual colonoscopy, visit radiologyinfo.org/virtual CT.
What are you doing out there? I saw you at the game the other night. Yeah, you up there getting mad, acting like we're all out there making $1 million a game. But let me be real with you. This isn't the pros. It's school sports, and it's a game, our game. So please, let us play.
All sports fans remember, when you cheer for your team, make noise for the right reasons. This message presented by the NFHS and the NIAAA.
And all student athletes in Louisiana.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talkback.
Welcome back to Talkback. What a great interview with the two young ladies from Global. I should say young. I don't have any idea. I don't mean that disparaging. Just these wonderful representatives of GlobalX Air that I think this is the kind of thing that happens when synergy begins to develop after visionaries make investments. And so you go back to England Air Force Base being changed, privatized, and then people begin making investments, and then like the LSUA bringing a program out there, CLTCC, they begin saying, hey, if we can create an infrastructure, it's kind of the if we build it, they will come. And now GlobalX, which is this international global company, is expanding their operations here because the infrastructure is in place and people can get some phenomenal jobs.
Right. And it really has been a perfect fit for them and for England Airpark and for us as a community. Yeah, these are going to be some great jobs. These are great paying jobs. I mean, the opportunity. Again, I want to go do some of these charter flights with the sports team.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Unfortunately, they're probably not picking up my Auburn basketball team because Auburn has their own program and their own planes that their pilots fly, you know. But anyway, you know, how great, what an opportunity that is right there. And then again, yeah, for those pilots that are coming out of LSUA with that degree and have that time built up to be able to walk in and get a right seat position there is amazing.
That's exciting. And you don't have to be a pilot if you're great at customer service and you enjoy people and you know you physically fit. You can literally have a career that has you spending the night in other countries and getting off time. You may end up having spending. Miami is where they're based, and so you spend some time in Miami, and really
not a bad place to be.
No, it's not at all.
Not a bad place to be.
So 318-442-8255, the BOM hotline, talk line is for you to call in. We've got this segment and the next segment, and then we'll bring in Katie Pears
Catherine Pears.
Catherine Pears, excuse me.
I was Katie. Like, did you know her from when you were younger?
No, I'm sorry.
Didn't you call her Katie? I didn't know we could do that.
No. We had Katie earlier from Convention Bureau. My brain glitched there. I wanted to finish a story, though, I was mentioning to you about the Rapides Area Planning Commission. We met yesterday, and so many phone calls that come in about this particular meeting that they moved it from their traditional meeting space, which will hold about 20 people in addition to the commission. You have the commission table in a big U, and then they have about 5 rows of chairs. They knew there were going to be a lot more people, so they moved it to the police jury's meeting room on the 2nd floor of the courthouse, and it was packed out. And people were there talking about a proposed subdivision. A developer out of Lafayette was wanting to purchase a bunch of land and put in about 240 D.R. Horton homes.
I was going to say, you can name the, D.R. Horton homes.
Off of Browns Bend Road.
Right.
It had come up once before. Concerns were voiced. It had been delayed. This was their second appearance. This time they were saying, well, we'll develop it in 4 stages because of the impact on the traffic. Will it get FFC? We'll pay you $1,000 per lot to help with traffic mitigation. And, they were making some concessions to try to shoehorn this thing in.
Yeah.
Dale Craig from DOTD was there to talk about the impact of traffic.
Yeah, because I can't imagine the impact on the traffic. That is a difficult area to navigate now as it is.
And I thought one of the most poignant comments was made by Stephen McKay, a resident, or he has a business right there. And he said his description, if I recall, was along the lines of, we have a problem. We have a house on fire, and our solution is we're going to give you a cup of gasoline, and you can spray it on there, and hopefully it'll put the fire out. And he said, that is not. I mean, it stuck with me as a solution. He's like, or as a very descriptive analogy of what the situation is there. And ultimately, the vote was, I think there was only one vote in opposition or in support of the permit.
Every other
and every other vote was opposed to it. And I think that was a procedural vote because the person that made that vote had represented STAR committee, which they said there were some technical things they met and it got recommended for approval. So I think that's the situation. But regardless, it was an overwhelming defeat of this proposal.
So it was a denial of their proposal to
like
do
11 to 1, I think was the final vote, 12 to 1. And so the developer from Lafayette area won't be putting that one there. And there's even discussion of putting a moratorium on any further development in that area until the traffic study is completed.
That traffic study, I can imagine, because I mean, I show houses up there and sold lots of houses up in there too. And it's just, that's one of the things that people have to realize when they do buy back in that area is it is not an easy traffic flow right there.
This developer from Lafayette had proposed, the connection was like a big L shape that was going to connect on Browns Bend Road on 2 different areas. He was going to have the first section would turn left right there behind the Tractor Supply and come out that way. The other section would be forced to turn right and go out to England Drive and would send them out there. And so someone said, well, if I live there and I want to go buy eggs at Super One, I'm not going to turn right. I'm going to turn left no matter what kind of barricades you put in the way. And so it's going to take some serious help. Now, the DOTD does have a project. The plan, the study is in place to look at what would the impact of almost 300 new homes have on traffic in that area. And they're charged with coming up with some solutions. And Dale Craig was very clear that, there are some possibilities. There are some things that can be done. But we're looking at, he even said, we're looking at, I think 3 to 4 years before, even if we come up with a plan in a year, and then another 2 to 3 years before we start construction, then another year or 2 before we're 5 years out. And that's when, Mr. McKay was like, you're telling me we're going to build this now and maybe 5 years from now we'll have some answers? That's not a good solution. So, all right, we've got the bottom of the hour break. We got a phone call. I hope you'll stick around through the bottom of the hour break. I tell you what, no, let's do it. Last time I went to break, they left. So let me go to the phone call real quick. Good morning. We'll talk back with Trish and Nathan.
They ought to promise all the people that live there tactical gear and pistols and everything else. Because that by Sycamore Place there?
Well,
between there and England Drive?
Yeah.
There was dangerous.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You're right. Go ahead.
Very dangerous. Telling you.
Very dangerous. Interestingly, one of the people that spoke actually played a recording of the gunshots on New Year's Eve. And it sounded like Iraq in Afghanistan.
Crazy.
And then he said, but this isn't just on New Year's Eve. He said every couple of weeks we hear this kind of stuff. And so you're absolutely right.
Well, and between that, you've got to think about like the clientele that these houses are built for. And I mean, as it is, we already have one development by that, builder here in town. And unfortunately, they are the only homes in that price point that we have right now. But the safety factor, the construction factor, I tell clients, Google your builder before you buy something. I hate that that's the route that's taking.
Thank you, Colin. Appreciate that very much. All right, we'll be back after this with more Talkback with Trish and Nathan.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The off-price retailer TJX reported positive quarterly results today, rebounding after its TJ Maxx and Marshalls brands saw softer than anticipated sales in the previous quarter. The company said it had opened its 5,000th store during the year, and the CEO said that the company sees many opportunities to successfully grow its business. McDonald's is offering a $1 Egg McMuffin to celebrate the 50th anniversary of its breakfast offerings, but the deal is only available Sunday, and you'll have to use the McDonald's app. Meanwhile, the chain will not be following other restaurants and adding an egg surcharge. A McDonald's executive posted on LinkedIn ruling out the additional fee. Other chains like Denny's and Waffle House are adding surcharges because of the egg shortage that's sent prices surging. Futures point to a higher open for Wall Street. Investors watching for NVIDIA's earnings after the closing bell. Those shares are moving higher in pre-market trading. Yesterday, it was a mixed close. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
Dentures. Can't live with them, and you definitely can't live without them. But what if I told you there's a better way? Today's Dental in Pineville is here to revolutionize your smile. Say goodbye to old-fashioned adhesives and endless appointments. They've made getting implants incredibly simple, low anxiety, and affordable for everyone. Picture this: in-office IV sedation administered by a highly skilled certified nurse anesthetist, making the procedure low anxiety and stress-free. And the best part? Their multiple finance options make implants truly affordable. Don't wait. If you're ready to replace those old-timey dentures with permanent implants, call Today's Dental on Highway 28 East in Pineville at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. That's 448-4540. Your perfect smile is just a call away. Today's Dental, because you deserve the best.
Car crashes don't happen in slow. They happen fast. In a crash, there's no time to check if your child's in the right car seat. Don't think you know. Know you know. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Well, good morning. Another foggy start to our Wednesday morning, but it's going to get better. Sunny skies later today. Afternoon highs near 73. We'll see winds out of the south at about 5 to 10. Now tonight, that fog rolls in again after midnight. Overnight lows down to 53. And for Thursday, we're saying a mostly cloudy day with a chance of showers, about a 20% chance. The highs near 70. From the Zenlaw Broadcasting Weather Center, that's your forecast. I'm Dave Gratian. Currently 47 degrees in Zenlaw.
Now back to Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Goes through your mind when you see this? You're here, you're now seeing it up close.
It's not only seeing it, Alex, you can smell it. You can feel it, right? So it's seeing it with our eyes, and many people have seen it. You all are covering it. But to literally be on the ground here, you can smell the smoke that was here. You can feel the toxicity, frankly, of the environment. You can feel the energy of all of the folks who are still here on the ground.
Goes through your mind when you see this?
Well, just in case you were missing Kamala Harris, courtesy of Trish, I have the little clip to share with you and remind you of, we almost had as president.
There you go.
All right. Let's go back to the phone line. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Trish and Nathan.
It makes me so thankful that the election went the other way.
Indeed.
Oh, my goodness.
Too close for comfort.
Absolutely. Well, hey, the end of last week and the beginning of this week, y'all were talking about some of the Doge happenings and Cash Patel getting put into the in charge of the FBI, and I think y'all said that Dan Bongino was going to be his number 2.
That's right.
And then he was talking about bringing in Matt Gaetz as a special prosecutor.
That was a report I saw. I don't have it from a verified source, but that was one report I saw that they were bringing him in to look into Hunter Biden.
I think that's wonderful. I think they need to stick all of the. We talk about not wanting political retribution, but what have they done for the last 12 years to Donald Trump?
Mm-hmm.
They've attacked and demeaned him for so long and destroyed people's lives. Like General Flynn, they destroyed that man's life for political gain and nothing more. So why not use those same tactics to get these people to serve retribution for what they've done to our country? When Doge exposes all of this fraud, people need to be in jail. People need to be held accountable for the fraud that they've committed, or it just tells other people, hey, you just don't get caught that way. Do it a little different so you don't get caught and you don't have to suffer the consequences.
Well, and I don't necessarily see it as retribution. It seems like justice. If you're calling people to be accountable for their actions.
Absolutely. So retribution might have been the wrong word, but justice. We want to see justice there, because if Nathan Martin were the one who was defrauding the federal government and taking our tax dollars, you better bet you'd be under the jail. There's no doubt.
Right.
If Ms. Trish were to destroy 30,000 emails that the FBI required,
right,
he'd be in jail too.
Right.
There
is a appearance of a two-tier level of justice?
Most definitely. I want to see some justice served and some heads roll, not literally heads roll, but figuratively speaking. I want to see some heads roll. I want to see actual justice come through, and these people who have ruined our country or attempted to ruin our country need to have some justice served up to them.
And I hope that I think there is a little bit of frustration that are we only going to see talk and no action, but
yeah,
hopefully Cash Patel will bring action with true justice.
I hope Cash does. I think he's got enough fighter in him that he's going to bring some, and with somebody like Dan Bongino, who is outspoken about his dislike for everything that has gone on in our government in the last 10, 15 years, I really hope we see some changes. The next 4 years are hopefully going to be exciting. And personally, I think the economy is going to get harder before it gets better. But there is optimism. I see more people more willing to spend money at this point of the year, knowing that it's going to get better.
That is the hope.
Hopefully so, and hopefully they start buying houses with it.
Right? Just buy houses and replace your air conditioning.
Right? Yeah.
Things that need to happen. But hey, I'm wearing shorts today, guys.
Yeah,
it's going to be in the 70s. I'm so excited. Like I'm literally just chomping at the bit because it's going to be warm today.
What's going to be funny is in the parade on Saturday, it's going to be 78 degrees and people are going to be sweating.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Yep. And it's going to be 78 degrees and I got to go up to New York this weekend.
Oh my goodness.
Nothing's going to be above freezing the whole time we're there. So I'm like, it couldn't be worse timing. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all this morning.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
your call.
for the call.
318-442-8255, the BOM talk line here for this morning, every morning actually. Trish and Nathan, we have coming up after the next week, we're going to be joined by Catherine Pears of the Alexandria Museum of Art, and there will always be something exciting for us to take place at the Museum of Art.
That's
She'll
right.
be sharing about those things. So stick around for that.
Stick around for that.
We'll be back with more after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
The clinics welcome Dr. Noah Miller, family medicine physician, to our team. Dr. Miller from Vadrine, Louisiana, is now accepting new patients. Call today to schedule your appointment. The clinics offers a wide range of services, including primary care, family and chronic care, urgent and acute care with on-site lab and x-ray. Same-day appointments are available, and we accept most insurance and Medicare. Experience exceptional care at the clinics, 1587 North Bolton. Call 445-9823 or look us up online at theclinics.us.
Your local radio company is Sinlaw Broadcasting. We're all about local.
The Junior League of Alexandria is an organization of women committed to promoting volunteerism, developing the potential of women, and improving communities through the effective action and leadership of trained volunteers. Our Junior League awards scholarships to girls, grants to nonprofit organizations, and has operated the New to You thrift shop since the 1940s. Learn more at jlalexandria.com.
This has been a public service reminder from Sinlaw Broadcasting.
80 million listeners depend on AM radio to always be on, delivering news, sports, talk, traffic, and weather reports you can trust. AM radio also delivers vital emergency information when you need it most. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress to pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act to keep AM radio in cars.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text stop to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
I truly believe, just as God assigns angels to us,
It's the unknown.
I think the devil, and he puts a vulgar twist on it,
It's the unexpected.
I think he assigns demons to us.
It's the unbelievable.
And when those demons are assigned, they get to know everything about that person.
Coast to coast, AM, late nights.
As crazy as that may sound, I truly believe there's something to it.
Overnights, it's Coast to Coast AM on Talk Radio 970 KSYL.
Every moment counts if you're at risk or living with lung cancer, and anyone with lungs can get lung cancer. It causes more cancer deaths than breast, colon, and prostate combined. And while there may be moments where you question your next step, through it all, Go-To for Lung Cancer is here for you. We are your community. For screening, treatment, and survivorship support, Go-To is your go-to. Confronting lung cancer starts here. Visit go2.org. I lost my mom to lung cancer when she was just 68 years old. Screenings help diagnose lung cancer early. It's most treatable, even curable. A quick low-dose CT scan is all it takes. Go2 for lung cancer is your go-to. Visit go2.org.
Talk. To take part of the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
Sorry about that. I was not ready to go.
We were just chatting off air.
Glad to have you guys back with us. We are joined in the studio by none other than Carolyn.
Oh my
Catherine,
goodness, you're giving her every name.
I am. She's not Katie and she's not Pears. It's Catherine Crockett McCrory.
That is very true.
Well, I got
that was my given name when I was born, and I just grabbed it back after I got remarried.
Well, congratulations.
I know.
to you.
Congratulations on that too.
Thank you. You know, we've been together 15 years.
So it's time.
We think we're going to make it. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I got that from the museum.org/staff. So if it's wrong on the website.
And we try to keep that up to date. Yes,
Very
we do.
nice. Executive Director of themuseum.org. By the way, how did y'all snag that URL?
Well, let me just say, somebody very smart back in the day grabbed that when they first started having a website.
Because you know there are some museums in Paris and New York and Amsterdam and all other places that would give y'all probably millions of dollars for that URL.
I'm keeping that in my back pocket just in case.
Hey, what is the top dollar you've been offered so far, huh?
Well, what a great URL, themuseum.org. And you have a lot of great events. Before we start talking about the exhibits, though, we want to chat about an annual event that is huge in the community, and that's the Dragon Boat Races.
Yes, the Louisiana Dragon Boat Races is our primary fundraiser. And it really makes possible all the great things we do for the community. So we're encouraging people. It's time to sign up right now. And
time to get those teams together.
Indeed, teaming up, get those paddles ready.
Well, I love as every year goes by, I know you have a lot of the same teams, the same corporate sponsors that take part in this, and they put their teams in it. But the people on those teams change so often. And it's just so fun to see the team building that happens through this fundraiser. I don't know if companies realize how great that is for just team building.
Exactly. You know, you can't have 16 people paddling together without teamwork. You know, synchronicity is the key to dragon boat racing. And you can see it when those boats are on the water, when they hit it, because that you can actually see that boat lift up and skim across the top of the water when they get in real synchronicity. It's just a beautiful sight.
And you can feel it when you're on that boat too.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Because Nathan, you asked if I'd ever been on one, so I take it you've never been on one?
I've been to watch many times, and I've seen what you say, the boat lifting out of the water, but I've never been on one.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
But it does.
Awesome.
It takes every single person being in sync, because then you see the ones that are completely out of sync and they're just not going anywhere.
Right, exactly. And, you know, you don't have to be a muscle man to make that happen. You know, yes, we've had some gym teams win sometimes, but we've also, Emmanuel Baptist always is in the top, and they won one year. And, you know, when the guys from 22 Dragons first came here, they told this great story about how a group of Girl Scouts beat a group of Marines.
Come on.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
Because they were just in perfect sync, and those guys were like, and not in sync at all.
A bunch of individuals showing off versus one group, one team working together.
Correct.
So there's a lot going on. Saturday, May the 3rd, coming up not far away. You can register your team online at LouisianaDragonBoatRaces.com. Prominent at the top of the page says register your team. It'll take you to a Google form, and all you got to do is put that information in there. You have the information about sponsorships, and I assume y'all are still taking sponsorships.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. You know, the more sponsors we get, the more sustainable the event is, frankly. Because, you know, some years we have more teams than others participate, but if we can maintain a good cadre of sponsors, then we know we can provide a great day for everybody. You know, we have a DJ that's out there playing music. You know, we bring in the great Pineville Elementary Drumline, who entertains everybody during the lunch break. And it's just a great day of, you know, tailgating of sorts. out at Beulah Lake.
That's a great phrase, tailgating. Yeah. That's exactly what goes on, and a lot of camaraderie takes place. If you want to get a team, you can have practice ahead of time so that you not your first time in the boat is not that morning of the race.
Oh, indeed, and that's an important thing. So each night, starting on the Monday before the race, Monday through Friday, there's 3 shifts at 5, 6, and 7 where all the teams have opportunities to sign up for their practice round. And they come on out and they get to work with one of the helmsmen from 22 Dragons who teaches them the proper way to paddle and really works with them till they get it. Really.
And again, it's not all about that muscle, Nathan. But I know some of the teams back when I was on the teams, we didn't even wait that long. We would go in the office and, set up a practice. We'd set chairs up in a row. We'd figure out how to sit people on the, who to team up with who, because you want everything to be balanced, everything to be even. And I mean, when you get in these things, Nathan, it's also like,
it's a canoe. It's a big canoe.
It is like a big canoe. You don't want to be tipping over. So
that would be
you kind of want to have your ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we practiced how we were going to be doing it. So a lot goes into trying.
Right. So I always encourage people to really get that practice with the helmsman early in the week.
Right.
Because then you know all the right techniques when you practice. Because if you practice wrong and then you come in on Friday night and they're like, oh, no, that's not how you do it, then you got to shift. And also, there's always a weather concern.
Sure.
And it inevitably, they like to sign up closer to the race day. But then if we have a rain night, then we're trying to, we have to shorten everybody's practice time and all of that. Yeah.
The event has moved from the Red River to Beulah Lake, and I think that's been welcomed by the participants because it's easier to paddle in a lake than in a river.
Well, we had to move the race at the last minute 2 or 3 times, and that is really an undertaking. And also, dragon boat racing is a time sport. There are a lot of teams that travel around the country using times that they got in other races to qualify for nationals and things like that. And we do have one group, the Monarch, that travels to our race, and they have 2 teams, and their people come in from all over.
Right.
And it's just so much safer, and that's really the primary reason.
They call it flat water,
right?
Because all the other dragon boat races out there are done on flat water.
I seem to remember in the early days you would alternate, because depending on where you were in the river, a current might work against you, so y'all would alternate lanes and stuff. You don't have to really worry about that with the lake.
Well, not as much, but I have to tell you, shallow water and deeper water does make a difference too.
Okay.
So we try to get that race out there where it's in an area where that's not going to impact the lanes.
Well, so which one's faster, shallow water?
Not really.
Okay. I didn't know. So, the reason I asked that is because I know that the lake is probably only about 8 feet at its deepest out there in the middle.
Correct.
Right. It's not a very deep lake.
Correct.
And almost anywhere in that lake, if you're an average height human being, you could stand up in almost any space. But it's also supposedly one of the reasons that it was considered the fastest lake in America for the speedboats racing, because I guess maybe it's more even across the bottom. I don't know.
More buoyancy.
Okay.
More buoyancy with more water underneath you. But, water's water when you're paddling.
So grab 16 of your best friends.
That's right.
Because it takes 17. You got to have a helmsman. There's a little competition on the dressing up of the
paddling. Well, we have spirit awards too. Because, some people aren't out there for the paddling competition so much as the fun. And so we have, the best dressed drummer, best team spirit, best tent area. We encourage folks to, costume, and, they come up with great team names.
It is just a full day of, just festivities surrounding these races there too. I know before we have to take our break and move on to your next topic, you've got some sponsors. You want to make sure you give a shout out.
Oh, yeah.
To some of the sponsors for this year's Dragon Boat races.
Right. So far, we've got Ratcliffe Construction, of course, the City of Pineville, Boise Cascade, Explore Alexandria Pineville, Walker Automotive, Rapides Regional Medical Center, Clico, and Christus St. Francis Cabrini Hospital.
So thank you to all of those sponsors that have already signed on for this incredible event. And get your teams together.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and if you're a sponsor, then, your logo's on the website. It's on all of the press that we send out. We have banners on site. And also we allow you to sort of submit a commercial that's read over the loudspeaker several times during the day by our DJ. So,
very nice. All right, Catherine McCrory with the Alexandria Museum of Art. We'll be back with what's coming up at the museum right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppable bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
More than 200 members of Congress are standing up for AM radio listeners. The AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act will keep AM radio in cars, because when cell and internet services are down, this free service could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress to pass this critical legislation now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
There's no better description than to say St. Jude is a place of hope. My name is Lindsay. I'm alive today because of this incredible hospital and the generosity of so many who wanted to support it.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
What's happening in the new normal? How it impacts you. CBS News Radio. Every hour at the top of the hour. 970 AM, 104.9 FM. KSYL. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
Welcome back to the studios of KSYL here at Salem Broadcasting on Texas Avenue, joined by Catherine McCrory of themuseum.org. And she's got some exciting things happening at the museum.
We sure do. Right now at the Alexandria Museum of Art, we're changing out our exhibits. And what we're hanging is The River is the Road, paintings by George Rodrigue. And that will open on March 7th with our member opening. And it was organized by the Life and Legacy Foundation, which is Wendy Rodrigue, his former wife, manages that. And she will be there, and she'll do a talk during the opening. And we're in the process now of we're going to do a little pop-up tour the next day that we haven't really publicized. That kind of just came about as we were talking with the curator, Dana Holland Beckert, who happens to be in town, making sure that the way we hang the show is the way they want it to be. She was very supportive of our staff because they kind of placed it before she came. And she came in and said, "Oh, I only moved one thing."
Oh,
so
wow.
they did a great job. Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah, that is very impressive.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be starting up March the 7th. That's available to the public when?
The next day, the 8th. Saturday, the 8th.
And that'll be here through June?
Yes, through June.
Well, if anybody's familiar with the Blue Dog art, you definitely want to come out and pay attention to that. And you said it was the 10-year anniversary
of his passing. Yes, it is. And it really traces 45 years of the river in in Rodrigue's paintings. And he used that as a metaphor for the journey of a reference to his Cajun heritage, and also ultimately as, the journey of life.
Wow, that's going to be a great experience to have there. You said organized by the Life and Legacy Foundation, and you said also there was some incomplete work in there?
Yes, so they have in the show, it starts with some of his early works. I'm sure you're all familiar of the beautiful dark live oak trees with the ghostly figures underneath of the Cajun people and culture, and then all the way through to the Blue Dog era, and some of the landscapes. There's one in particular on display in an easel, a landscape that he had started and not finished. And so it's really interesting to see those underlayers, of how he started the painting, really.
I was going to say, that's very, very interesting to see how he started, as his progression of it.
Right, right. And,
wow.
And there's another one that's a little bit further along, but still incomplete. So, yeah.
And I know you can think about that with artists too, because, it's not just, he just didn't do one at a time.
Oh, not always.
It's not just, one that's incomplete. There's different stages of different ones.
Correct.
Yeah.
And, and then he got into, doing sculptures and printing, and there's some round canvases instead of square. And then, he was really experimental later on in life, as artists do. You don't paint the same thing forever. You grow and you experiment. And
so if people want to come down and check out the exhibit and they're not members of the museum, what do they need to do?
Well, first of all, they could come Friday night and join.
There you go.
It's really not expensive to become a member of the museum. It's $30 for an individual, $25 for a senior or student, and $50 for a family for an entire year of free admission and discounts and programming at the museum.
And you get free admission to over 100 museums around the nation.
You do. And if you become a patron member, then that extends internationally.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, thank you so much, Catherine McCrory. Glad to have you in this morning.
Thank you.
Appreciate you updating us on all things at themuseum.org.
Thank you. So any further information, go to themuseum.org.
That's right. And Louisiana Dragon Boat Races.
Be here with you today, Nathan, and good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, I got Dave Dagerfont coming in tomorrow. It's going to be a good day.
How fun will that be?
All right, everybody. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers